Yahoo, Prof here, and we got our replacement parts in from Tactile Turn for my smooth operator. Let me go grab the bolt real quick. Alright, so that is the original Ultim bolt, split right in half. And Gertrude's here blocking our light. So, I think something might actually be wrong with my pen. I reached out to them. Reason being is it was nigh on impossible to even thread it into this one. And I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but there is already a... Gertrude, you're blocking our light. There's already a hairline fracture. You can kind of see a line there. Alright, so what did I end up doing? Because this guy had a hairline fracture, and it still wasn't fully seated, I stopped. Didn't want to break it the rest of the way, you know. Obviously, if we got a little hairline fracture, the exact same thing that happened here is going to happen there. Now, supposedly, the plastic bolts have not been an issue. I asked them, like, hey, it was the reason why you're sending me a plastic one and a metal one because the plastic ones have issues. No, it's just so you have a choice. We're just making a kit. Cool, awesome. That means I should have had no issue threading this in. They even recommended a dab of Loctite. That makes me think it should just thread in all nicely, right? Even in the plastic, I had to use a little bit of a pliers. You know, small little pliers. Just a little guy like this. Added protection with some heat shrink to the ends. That's usually perfectly fine. I use that on my water cooling fittings so I don't mar them up. Should have been no problem here. Like I said, we got the hairline fracture. I stopped there, took it out, put in the metal bolt. Now, I had to turn this so hard that I started marring up the Damascus bolt there. You can see it there. There's a little bit of marring going around the whole thing. And this is not fully seated. You can still see one thread. So they said specifically, do not over tighten. Stop as soon as all of the threads are done. I can't get it to go any farther. So I'm thinking that my actual bolt, not the internal, the bolt is misthreaded or threaded incorrectly. And that would explain why this one cracked completely and that one started to crack. If the threads aren't aligning, it's forcing its way through. It's easier to do on the plastic than it is the metal. That would also explain why, and even my original hand this, the bolt is sticking out farther. If you see, it's almost up to my nail. You know, see where it is there? It sticks out much farther. Now, I thought that might have been a design of the pen, and it could be because this body's a little bit smoother, a little bit thinner. That could very well be. But this bolt, from my understanding, is the same bolt that is from their other pens, because it is based on, oh, look, Elliot, you got a bunch of pens. Yes, I do. It is based on the slim bolt. If you notice, this has a Damascus. You can see here, it is a little bit thinner. You should be able to see it's a little bit thinner. Right there versus there, you know. It's a little bit thinner on the smooth operator as expected, but see where this bolt sits? Way lower. Using my fat right thumb as reference. Doesn't stick out nearly as much. You really have to make sure you get your finger in there and that sort of thing, you know. Whereas this one is significantly protruding. And I think that's because it doesn't thread in far enough. We also have, here's a standard original bolt from them. or technically the Bolt V2, but of this bolt design, one that they've repaired before because they'd make a new top cap for it. That is almost flush, and it's even more so for the Ultim version because this plastic on the Ultim is thicker. Look at how smooth that is, though. So this bolt here is not threading in as far as it should, and if it's cross-threading, that may explain why it cracked the first plastic bolt, if this isn't a known issue with this pen, as well as not being able to thread in properly and me marring it using a tool. I mean, you wouldn't need Loctite like they're recommending if, like, I don't even know if I can unscrew this now. That's how tight it's in there. So I reached back out to them. We'll see what kind of comment resolution, etc. we get. Normally they're pretty good about this stuff. So hopefully the same thing happens here. If not, what I'll probably do is, it's in there. It's probably never coming out. I'll just take my little Dremel and smooth down the sides of the bolt so it's all the little marrings kind of taken care of. Ideally, though, brand new pen, shouldn't have to do any of that. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the videos like this, and we'll see you down below in the comments. Peace.